Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video where we forgot to take screenshots of
100%.
How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Hurts a little. We talk about it. Yesterday was too much.
Yes, it was. It's way too
My
much.
face was hurting all day after. Jesus.
I know, exactly.
Jokes.
It was pure jokes, man, pure jokes. But yeah, today we got some good news for you guys, right? We always got some interesting stuff to talk about in the news with crypto and Bitcoin and so forth. And yeah, also, just so you know, right, the Bybit has opened up the EU page, right? If you just head over there to eu.davinci15.com, also links in the description and in the pinned comment once the show's over, of course. But yeah, if you could do me a favor and just head over there and take a look. I mean, if you're in the EU or not, whatever, just head over there. That'd be great.
Check it out, yeah.
Yeah. All right. That said, we've got, let's see here. I want you guys to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and head over to Mr. M's podcast and hit the subscribe there because, you know, this video is just going off the chain.
Our video is flying, yeah. It's almost 15K.
You're missing it, man. What does this button do?
It's the AI transcription. So if you click on it, it gives you a summary. I know, it's nuts. In real time, it's just insane.
Sure.
I have a guest coming in the studio today, and I've spoken to the lady responsible to free Ross last night. So check it out. It's going to be uploaded on Sunday. So stay tuned for that one. It's going to be epic.
Cool. Yeah, let's go back in time, just like the machines, right? Because you know the machines are going to be like the same. They're going to be like, yeah, screw humanity. We're not going to kill you.
Buy cheaper Bitcoin.
Buying cheaper Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're probably going to do. I mean, honestly, did you know that the AIs seem like a little bit alive, right? Because when they test them, they try to blackmail people when they realize that they're going to be deleted or something like that.
Yeah, you told me that, yeah.
And so that behavior is only learned from all the education that they got. So basically, all the education about Bitcoin was probably going into the AI. So they're going to probably do that for sure.
We came back to buy cheap Bitcoin. We don't care about anything else.
Can you imagine if Satoshi Nakamoto was just an AI from the future?
It could be. It could be very much. Oh, it's gonna sell now.
Exactly.
like the guy said the other day.
Oh damn! Wow, that'd be funky.
That'd be really funky. But look what else is funky. The dollar is headed for its worst first half performance since 1973. You can see the blue line is where we are now. Man, this is the lowest ever, and it's not gonna get any better, right?
The dollar. Well, I mean, listen, man. Everybody who says dollar index worst performance in 1973. Okay, great. Did you know that how much was the dollar worth in 1973? Can you take a guess?
Didn't he lose 98 cents for each dollar?
Like, you know what? Gold went up like maybe what from $100, right? So let's just call it for every $100 is worth 1 ounce of gold, right? That's what it was. So if you're measuring it against other currencies, well, you know, it doesn't really matter the 10% loss, right? Because it's like, okay, jumping out of a plane, right, at a high altitude, and then flying down faster, right, and go, look, the dollar down there, he's falling faster. Dude, you're falling too.
It doesn't change anything.
Right?
Hello.
So it's like all the currencies jumped out of a freaking plane after 1971, right? And they're laughing, pointing at the US dollar, saying, look, they're going, dude, you jumped out of a plane too. Okay. Okay. There's an end point to this, and there's no stopping it because you don't have a parachute.
On top of that, unless you have Bitcoin, that could be your parachute, right?
Oh wow! No, I mean, come on. Yeah, exactly. Bitcoin could be the parachute, but
There's only 21.
governments are like, yeah, exactly.
Only 21 million.
Governments, you know how they are, right? They're effectively spend machines. So they're going to stop at nothing to spend as much as they possibly can. And printing money is the only way to do that. And so who cares if they have Bitcoin? It's not a parachute. It's still going to collapse. Their currency is going to collapse and crash and die. It's not going to solve their currency. Well, I guess it could if you back up the Bitcoins that you bought with the money that you have, right? The dollars that you have. So that's could be a possibility right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to discount it. So.
Yeah, the Dixie backed by air reminds me of remember my vegetarian air burger?
I know, exactly.
Michelin.
Remember when people said that the Bitcoin was backed by air? The dollar is backed by the same air.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the bull run has just begun. I love this, right? Because every other day there is someone who's saying the bull run begins. Guys, the bull run is begun quite a while back, right? It was $15,000.
Did you miss when it was like $15,000, $16,000? Yeah,
exactly.
Clearly missed that point.
Just saying, almost a 10x so far. But that doesn't mean we won't go any higher. But yeah, it's interesting how people are measuring it. But I do agree, though, there's going to be another leg up, right? So
yeah, for sure.
Interesting. So Tommy Lee says, here's why Bitcoin is it moving?
We know Bitcoin ETFs are the most successful product launch like in history. And then someone says, well, if you're going to collect that much money, Bitcoin goes to the moon. But it turns out Bitcoin's risen, but it's kind of churned. I think what happened is a couple things. One is a lot of these ETFs may have been receiving in-kind exchange. So people have their crypto keys, give it to the ETF provider, and then they just stepped up their basis. So that's not going to push up the price of Bitcoin. It adds to their AUM.
a wash.
Yes, it's a wash. And the second is that the ones who aren't involved in ETFs, but maybe they have $10 Bitcoin. We have clients that have bought Bitcoin at $100.
Damn.
And now it's 100,000. They're not looking to, they don't care if Bitcoin goes to a million. They are probably sellers at around 100,000. So we're churning the base now because 95% of the institutional world doesn't own Bitcoin, but a very significant portion of Bitcoin holders are sitting on huge gains. So I think this is the churn that's happening in Bitcoin now.
Fools, them all. If you are holding Bitcoin gains, right, huge gains, and you want to dump it now, right, you better have a good reason for it. You better not dump the whole thing at least, right?
Yeah, but he made a good point on the exchanges. Actually, I've never thought about this because they have massive reserves. So they are selling what they already have. Mm-hmm. And that's a really interesting point, which is basically like an OTC also, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a wash, right?
It's just a wash. But that's really interesting how I actually never thought about this until we saw this morning. It was like, actually, this is a good point because exchanges already had, like Coinbase had a huge amount of reserves. They don't have to go and buy them. They can just sell whatever they have, which is going to finish at some point. So that's the interesting part. But yeah,
same with BlackRock. I'm sure it started off with big reserves because they knew it was coming.
Exactly. So and they want to buy it cheaper, right?
Exactly.
So it makes sense. Now the question is, how long is it going to take before those quote unquote reserves are going to finish? And I guess it depends on how much they are scooping up. Like if you go back and look on the ETF, the volume we showed yesterday for the past, I don't even know, month, I guess, it's gone bananas. Yeah. So at some point, these
That's why the price is where it is, right? 100K, because they don't want to use up all their reserves probably, right? They're going to still have them. They still have it. So they'll probably just raise the price even higher just to not use up their reserves.
Yeah, and then if you think about it, when they sell, they can just give them fiat. They don't have to sell the asset. So that's the good side because it won't impact.
Exactly, because you can short on the commodities exchange to get open up a short position and sell the asset short, right? Which gives you basically you write up a contract saying, I'm selling, promise you 1 Bitcoin in 1 year from now. Here it is. Here's the contract.
I owe you.
Okay, I owe you 1 Bitcoin. Not really 1 Bitcoin cash, but whatever.
separate conversation.
Whatever. And then they get the cash to give to the person who wanted cash for the Bitcoin. And they have Bitcoin. So it doesn't really matter that, oh, well, what happens if Bitcoin goes to the moon on your short? Well, dude, I didn't give away that Bitcoin.
Exactly, still in my pockets.
It's right here.
They're gonna go,
Exactly.
damn.
So they're bonusing, right? It doesn't matter. And so, and then the beauty of it, right? If things go haywire, they could just default on the commodities exchange and just read between the lines because I lost my keys, right?
Exactly. Oopsie.
Oopsies.
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
gonna need a bailout.
By the way, do you mind?
Can I get a bailout, please?
Do you
Can you
mind
print some
helping
of those
out?
dollars?
Helping out, bro?
Yeah, help a bro out, man. But you got Bitcoin, you can sell. No, I lost the key.
I forgot. There was a boat accident. You know?
Exactly.
Damn.
Oh damn.
Bananas. All right, Ethereum. So, what if we are at the bottom? I mean, we are indeed the bottom. Yeah. Question
What do you
is,
mean? What if?
Can we go?
What if?
Can we go any lower?
What if?
We
What?
go-
Why are you saying if on that statement? We at the bottom.
It's definitely the
We
bottom
went,
of the
we went
band.
below bottoms.
It's definitely the bottom of the band. But
Jesus
this could be a good sign because, you know, if history repeats, we could see like a little bit of life into this rally, right? By the way, Tommy Lee, the same guy who just said about the exchange thing, he's betting big on Ethereum.
Yeah, you got no life in Ethereum. No, there's the best you could hope for is a $4,100 of Ethereum.
Before
best.
the top kicks in and people sell into it. Yeah.
You're finished.
Yeah, but look what happens to Solana. By the way, Lark, I miss you, buddy. He's my gym buddy. He's gone temporarily from Dubai. 290 Solana people are like, ooh, ETF? What's going on?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna do like a little bit of a.
We forgot to hit record.
Oh shame.
Dang.
That's okay. I can record right now.
Perfect. So you at least you get your run.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. So the Solana ETF is here. Does that mean Solana is going to the moon? No. Solana broke down below the $200 mark, and once it did that, and it continued all the way to $95, it pretty much ended our hopes for Solana to get to $1,000. So where's Solana going from here? Is it going to go back to the $300 mark? No. You'll be lucky if Solana goes to like $260. That is the best case scenario, unfortunately, for Solana. I wish I could say something positive, but there's so much money and so much Solana that is coming into the market, and all those people that bought Solana at 290, they're going to be selling if it gets anywhere near the $200 mark. Sorry to say this, but Solana, whilst it might go as high as 200, 220, maybe even 260, after that, it's a bear market city, all the way down to $40.
Ouch.
And it's gone.
Do you think we will see 40 for Solana in the bear market?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
I mean, it depends how high we go, I guess, but yeah.
exactly. It's not a good sign. It's not good.
Unless something, maybe there could be an event we can't, like, because I still believe we will see some sort of a rotation at some point, but not as big as previous altcoin season. Or whatever you want to label it, rotation season or whatever. When Bitcoin is going to go bananas, people are going to gamble on. But those ETFs, guys, there's not going to be volume into those things, at least for now, right? Look at Ethereum. Ethereum launched the ETF a while back, and
Yeah, no, exactly.
it's like $20 a day.
Exactly. Exactly. $20 a day, man. Get Ethereum up there. Okay. I see Cramer, and all I think about is just putting my finger to his mouth and go, Say nothing.
There is a meme with I think it's Pepe that he goes, shh, I'll find it for tomorrow. It's hilarious. But thank God you didn't say anything.
Okay.
At least here.
Let's hear.
Right?
Let's hear.
First, we're a digital-only company, so we need to use technology to provide all of these services to you. We want you to have the ability to pay anybody, anywhere, any way that you want. And so one of the products we're launching, international payments, will allow you to use US dollars to pay someone in a foreign country in their local fiat currency. That dollar will be transferred into Bitcoin, transmitted over the blockchain, and then at the destination, converted back into fiat currency. Today, the remittance market or international market is close to $100 billion from the US. We think we can provide a service that's faster, cheaper, more accessible, and most importantly, very secure.
Damn.
In addition to that, we know our members want to invest in cryptocurrency. We used to offer the product, but we didn't take past as the future. So we went out and asked our members, and 60% of our members would like to have cryptocurrency offered from someone like SoFi that is a nationally licensed bank. And that is a big change. In the past, banks couldn't offer buying and selling cryptocurrency, but they can now. And so our bank license is now useful, not just to take deposits that are insured and lend them, but to actually provide a very safe and reliable way to buy and sell cryptocurrency.
Okay, so now the banks will let you buy cryptocurrency. But what I want to point out, something else there in this video, isn't the transfer of dollars to another or any kind of asset from here to another location around the world, wasn't XRP designed to do that? Just saying.
Dan, dude.
He's just cutting deep. Oh no, it's not playing.
Damn, XRP, you're finished. You're finished.
There was only one thing.
That's all you were designed for.
Talk it away.
And Bitcoin snatched it away. Why did it snatch it away? Well, it's got the $2 trillion market cap. The average trades on Bitcoin is $100 billion a day right now. Might be slightly bigger than XRP. In fact, let's take a look at the what's it called? The market cap of XRP. See if it's coin market cap. Let's take a look at the volume. Look, 40 million. That's just the trading volume, right? That's not included, right, in the regular markets like ETFs, the what's it called, futures markets, but whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, look at that. Look at the volume here. Might be, is that an order, like 2 orders of magnitude? Or, no, it's just, it might be, yeah, 1 order of magnitude, but times 2. So, yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. Can you do me a favor and do the, what was it called in Mortal Kombat when there was a final move? Fatality. Can you do the fatality?
Fatality.
Yeah, and show XRP Bitcoin chart just to put the cherry on the cake.
No, man, we don't want
to spare.
We don't want to make them suffer. Man. We don't want to make them suffer.
Yeah, but if you are in doubt, you can always chart XRP versus Bitcoin. Just saying, because if Bitcoin is the money, and you not just XRP, to be fair, it's any other altcoin, right? I mean, it is what it is. How do you feel about Bybit launching in Europe? Because you've been talking about the EU, the Davinci J15, right?
I mean, here's the thing. You know what happened? How this all happened, and it's a big mess, right? What's it called? Who's created Circle? I mean, what's it called? The USDC is created by who?
Sorry, what? Sorry, I was
USDC. Who's it created by?
Circle.
No, yeah, but the Circle is created by. Oh my God.
Isn't it Coinbase?
Coinbase. Yes. Sorry, Coinbase. Coinbase, right, wanted to get rid of its competition, right? Both on USDT and exchanges. So you know what they did, right?
Well, they already went off Binance, right?
Right. They went over to the EU and said, "Here's a bunch of money.
we have
This
an
is what
idea.
we're gonna do.
We have an idea.
We're gonna create regulation for people to make sure that you know, the European Union people are not getting screwed over.
You can't make this.
And so this regulation will be for the best for the people. But wait a second. Doesn't that mean that you will be the head of, because your regulation is basically exactly how your exchange operates? Yeah. But
That's not the point. Yeah.
we need to protect the people.
Do you know what it reminds me of? And I experienced it, sadly, directly in my life, because I had a friend who had a business. One day someone showed up and he goes, you need protection. And he goes, protection from who? From us. Mm-hmm. And it's going to cost you. And if you don't pay, your business going to burn. But who's going to do it? We're going to do it. So you have to pay us not to burn it down.
Exactly.
That's kind of similar, right?
Exactly.
It resonates a little bit.
And so effectively making all the exchanges non-compliant based on how they set up the regulations. So, and they can't even become compliant because the compliancy of that the requirements requires you to do things in a specific way at the very beginning, which happened to coincide to exactly how, what's it called? Coinbase.
What are the
happened
chances?
to organize
Their
business model. Wow. Okay. Wow. From the very beginning. Wow. They must have got lucky on that.
Yeah. They saw what was coming before. But don't worry, you'll be protected.
Yeah. You're protected. Coin. Right. And so obviously what happened is that a lot of the exchanges that want to go back into the EU, they have to like
Bend the knee.
basically create a new business, right? A whole new exchange, whole new set of processes in order to fit into that regulation. And that's why there's a split company now for Bybit. And there it is. You can get it at eu.davinci15.com. Right?
Damn.
Yeah.
You know, scary thing is the Coinbase still has 9 or the 11 ETFs, right? So
This was the only way that they can be MiCA regulated. So,
yeah.
I mean, so it is what it is, right? Oh, by the way, once you are MiCA regulated, just so you know, you have to tell the government what your addresses are.
Of course. Of course. They want to know, by the way, Coinbase want
Just
to
in
know your hardware wallet or cold storage address as well.
Yeah.
So they know you have in custody some.
Part of MiCA regulations, right?
Yeah. Just give me your address. It's okay. We're not just not
Just
doing
pass
anything.
over the seed phrase too, whilst you're at it, if you don't mind. Trust me, bro. We won't take it. Trust me. Wow.
Yeah.
That is the world we live in. Anyways.
100%.
All right, let's get onto the soap and towels. It's going to be a short one today, so we're not going to buy anything. We're just going to go over the nonsense we bought yesterday.
Yeah.
Should you buy this nonsense and get hurt? Just remember to clinch.
Exactly. Wow.
Clinch.
You know what?
Clinch.
I forgot to take a screenshot on this.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Damn, you could have been rich.
I could have been
screenshot.
Exactly.
Rich.
I
He could have
don't
been
even
screenshot rich.
I don't even have it. I don't even have the screenshot. Damn.
Oh my God. Well, at least we got paid, right? We got paid.
Oh, we
on
got
this.
paid?
Yes, because we sold half, right?
I might as well hand over my channel as well. You want to keep that hidden? You want to keep that very hidden?
Oh damn!
Dude, this is gonna follow us forever.
Exactly. It
Forever.
will. It will. Look at this thing. 1.8 million in volume.
Damn.
Well, hopefully that was not us.
I mean, I've might have bought some.
So did I. I did go $1,000 into this nonsense as well too.
Yeah,
so.
but I just put a little bit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, hey, honestly, what do you see when you look at this chart? I mean, Is it pain? Max pain?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it. Oh my gosh.
I mean, it could go higher.
Oh my god. Do you want me to do chart analysis on Thano?
Please. I put all my money in this thing. I need to know where it's going, man. I'm worried. Maybe I shouldn't have done it. No,
Probably.
I mean, just kidding. But we did buy.
Yeah, but you told me you didn't have any Solana, so you were like desperately looking for some Solana, right? I remember.
Yeah, I was looking for where do I get Solana, you know? And then this
Okay,
happened.
somehow he found some.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's gone.
Okay, there's a nice uptrend there, right?
Yeah.
It could go higher.
You could go higher. You could buy right now and see if it's gonna.
It could go deeper.
Oh,
Damn.
the Infinity Gauntlet is he talking about?
He snapped. The gauntlet. It's like,
Oh damn. Okay, now on to some more wordlessness. Hey, did we buy any of this wordless thing?
I don't remember.
It was wordless.
Honestly, ever since we've gone into tunnel, I forgot everything.
Yeah,
else.
exactly. You know what? I don't think we bought any wordless.
Maybe not.
Let's get a wordless. I know we weren't gonna buy anything, but hey, what would be a degen show be if we didn't degen onto something?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly. So,
Wordless coin.
okay.
I'm gonna feel a little wordless buying this coin, but
Is it going
wordless.
leave the trenches with the professionals?
Yeah, that was not professional. You take that. Forget to take your screenshot.
Exactly, guys. I'm
Very
sorry.
unprofessional.
I'm going to
Very.
I'm going to apologize deeply. Forgot to take the screenshot. I was so excited, and then
And it's gone.
Oh wow! Do we have anything moving, pumping, other than our?
what happened to salami? Yeah, people are asking about salami.
Yeah, salami. I don't know. Did they beat our salami?
Possible.
I don't know. There it is. What? It's $18.
Oh wow, Fartbook also is green. I mean, I don't know how.
Yeah. Well, there it is.
Didn't we got paid on that one?
UFD. Oh, it was at $50 one time.
Yeah,
man.
there was
Just-
a
UFD
rag,
died.
remember some of the devs have done some nasty stuff.
All right, let's see here. Did we get this?
I think we did, yeah.
And
See, this is how a meme coin should be. Right? that's exactly what a meme coin should do.
how the meme coin is supposed to go.
But Thana, on the other
Thanos,
hand,
on the other hand, well, still,
still standing, right?
yeah, it's gone up a little bit. It's still up there. I don't know where it's up, but it's there. Up there.
I mean, it hasn't done completely. It hasn't run completely yet.
Yeah.
So maybe now it's gonna go, slow and steady. Yeah, there is $1 million volume.
Oh my god.
Boy,
Well, look at Peppa Pig.
Peppa Peep.
Going deep with Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
That sounds wrong.
I know.
In the case of, but yes.
This is, by the way, 40% of our portfolio, right? 60-40, 60% Bitcoin, 40% Peppa
Yeah, exactly.
Of
course. Of course.
40%.
Oh man. Oh
not
gosh.
much is
Okay,
happening
the
there.
Q&A section. But guys, I wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be taking a couple weeks off starting next week. It might start sooner than that for personal reasons, and if it does, well, you'll know why. I won't be back until the 21st, probably. Just letting you know that the shows won't be done. We won't be doing this live show or anything like that, unless you want to.
So, no, without you, it doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Man. I mean, you are the reason why I'm here every day. But maybe we can record some videos. Like we've done
Maybe
on,
we could
on the
record
Maybach.
some videos
In our own
and
time
just
frame,
post,
right?
Yeah, whenever I have some time and or hold my phone up or something like that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly. Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that. Okay.
Nice.
All right,
Fantastic.
guys.
So if you have any questions, now is your time. I saved one for now. Beautiful Sound says, what do you think about Bitcoin's value after 2028? Sir, that's a good one. 2028, so that
It's
means...
going to be a lot. So make sure you have some. A whole lot.
Yeah.
A scary lot.
What is the sound I want to play?
It could go higher.
And then I'm going to say,
I told you so.
Yeah.
that's it. So just make sure, because I mean, this is an asset class that has done something. Like, think about this. I want you guys to think about this. The asset class went from 0 in 2009 to 2 trillion, over 2 trillion market cap, had no value, and now 2 trillion market cap in a space of what? 16 years?
Yep.
Now, can we find an asset class? Let's not measure it in dollars. Let's measure it in gold. But can you find an asset class that, even on that, priced in gold, can you find an asset class that's risen that fast? Priced in gold? No,
I have a good candidate.
nothing.
I have a good candidate.
Who's that?
Thanos. Sorry, I had to go there.
Oh my God!
You
to
know,
this,
you can't find
you know,
anything.
no, and then in the last year since the ETF, right? I want you to understand, it took forever for it to go from 0 to $1,000, $10,000, right? Because it was just you and me, the average Joe, buying that,
Yep.
right? With a few corporations on the download, right?
Yep.
So the rest of this, so to move another $10,000 is a lot, right? Requires big money. And we've gotten all the way to 100K, and it's only because of big money. Only because of big money. And we're gonna go higher. So the big money's here, and they've just begun to deploy the money, right? There's like what, 400 trillion in debt?
Yeah.
400 trillion? 400?
We haven't even seen...
Wait until that comes in,
Exactly. Yep.
because somebody is holding it as an asset on their balance sheet.
Indeed. They're not planning to sell for a double. That's for sure.
And yeah, you can't wait for a double on your debt. No. What, they're getting a coupon of 3% maybe? No. Wait until they sell their debts instruments to get
Get more Bitcoin. Ooh, yeah, that's going to be...
the collapse of the currency is on its way.
Yep. Okay, this is a good one. The Profit Hub says, hey guys, if you have 200K to invest in crypto today, how would you allocate for a maximum return for this bull market? What would you do with 200,000?
Well, it depends. Okay, it all depends on who you are, right, and where you are in your life, and what. I mean, it's just not a fair piece of information, because that's all we got. It's like, oh, I got 200K, right? And so, effectively, the best thing to do is just put it all in Bitcoin and just forget about it, right? And just like leave the 2 Bitcoins, and you'll see that you are a person who could afford 2 freaking Bitcoin. There's no chance on this planet that every single millionaire is going to have 1 Bitcoin. 0.
Yep.
0 chance of that, right? The total number of millionaires in this world, total number, right now, is around 66 million. So all those mofos can't have 1 Bitcoin, and you're going to take 2.
Right there. That's a good one. That's a good answer. It also depends on the time frame, right? So one way would be to plan a DCA. It could be, I don't know, $20,000 a week or something that you consistently hammer it, bam, bam, and you don't care about the price, but you have to have a longer time frame. I would keep 10,000 and I would play with it. Like if you have 200,000, $10,000 is not.
Yeah, exactly.
That's okay.
That's fine.
And you can buy some of the top 20. It could be, I don't know, Chainlink, Cardano, whatever you want. It doesn't Solana. It doesn't
You
matter.
go look around shop and
Exactly.
stuff like that,
But I will just keep the damage, like maybe 10,000 top, 20 maximum if you want to be a complete degenerate. And then either buy, like Davinci said, immediately boom, or just do a DCA. And if there is going to be a correction, who cares? Because in the next 8 years, you have almost 2 Bitcoin, right? So you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, but notice he said this bull market. So
Yeah, exactly.
This guy only has a short term thinking.
Exactly. That's why.
That's why. And so it's not even worth it, right?
I wouldn't think in terms of this bull market
No.
because you probably have 6 months left or something. I don't know. So
Yeah, so don't think about just, oh, yeah, I got 200,000. There's probably 200,000 waiting to pay for something else. And so I want to like try to gain some gains. No, dog. But if you're that 200,000 is meant for something else, you've got to keep it there.
exactly. Yeah, that's a super good point. If you need the money at the end of the year, just don't buy anything because you could see some losses there for sure.
Exactly.
So
Done.
extremely risky. Yeah.
Exactly. And you could say, well, can't I just buy Bitcoin? And I know that it's probably going to end up a lot higher than the 100K for yeah, you could, but we don't know if it's going to only go to 150 and then really come back down fast to 100K, right? So below 100K, so we don't know that. So I can't, right?
Exactly.
Can't recommend it.
At least this kind of thinking you should have done at the bottom of the market, right? When Bitcoin was at 15,000, then you could have put down 200K and now you could have exit because you already have like almost 10x your money, right? Almost, not 10x because we are not under 50, but we might be there. So
Anyways, one more question and we'll call it a day.
see if you like something here. I saved a few here as well. How about this one? Do you think we retest 104 and 102 since the 4th of July? Oh, as a bank holiday. Yeah, that's we could even go lower, right? 90, what you said, 90, 92? There is a CME gap?
Yeah, there's a gap, and yeah, it's a little bit dangerous right now to if you're trying to trade the market. Now, overall, let's just say if you're trying to trade, it's a different situation than if you're just buying. Then you just buy all the way. You just buy Bitcoin and just let it go, right? You buy it and then let it go, right? And don't worry about it. But right now, wow, it's pumping Bitcoin. It's back up from its 105 lows, and then yeah. So, but don't, because it's pumping heavy. You can see here. I would be careful of this. This is just a, hey, I shorted it. Now I'm feel good. I'm gonna hold my short, and Bitcoin
And it pumps.
loves to come back to say, oh, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you short and fail. Right. So, but with that said, there is a possibility that during this, I'm gonna get you. All of a sudden, more people go, oh my God, I gotta get Bitcoin, and cause this thing to keep going.
Yeah. And like we said, we could very much see a boring summer, which means sideways, nothing interesting until September, which is when the interest rate might be affect the whole thing. And or Jerome Powell, by the way, apparently he's getting replaced. So because Trump wants the printer to go, right? So that could change.
So the best thing to do right now that this thing's running, and it's kind of scary, but it is what it is. You have to short this thing, right? Right, and short it, like maybe the 78.6 or 61.8. You could start adding, right, at the 61.8, and then keep adding until, oh shoot.
What would you have your stop loss?
Just above that wick here, just slightly by the wick.
To 108?
So it's a 109.
109, okay.
So basically, and I can't get it. Anyways, let me just get rid of that. So 107.5 is the 61.8. That's where you want to start entering right now. I want to at this one right there. But now it's That's the best you can do, right? Right here. And then you got to move your stops. Once you enter that point, you got to put the stops just above that. And that's the 109, close to the 109. And then, take this thing all the way for a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I know it's outside of that zone there, but it's still inside the trading zone. And so, yeah, you could take it all the way there. You can move your stops move your stops down a little bit because, hey, you know what? If we reverse it, we're going to reverse.
What would be the take profit on 100-ish?
105-ish.
105-ish.
Almost.
Okay.
Yeah, 105-ish, a little bit breaking down. I would take profits there because, it could fail down here and then break back
And
higher.
bounce back up.
Or you can just move your stops to halfway and then see if it runs further, breaks down.
Nice. Thanks. Fab. Awesome. So, guys, make sure to stay tuned on Davinci's and myself on Twitter because we will probably tweet if we're going to do a show, like you said, for the next couple of weeks. There's going to be some on and off over there, so make sure to stay tuned. We're going to announce.
You could sell your Bitcoin or buy the Bitcoin at eu.davincej15.com. All right.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys
On the next one.
Yeah, tomorrow. Well, hopefully it'll be tomorrow, right? It could be anything. If the emergency shows up, then I probably won't start to take off the rest of the days off. Okay?
Sounds
Peace.
good. Cheers.